I am live again. Want to talk about a few topics. Um, we also got a Q&A as well. So if anybody have any questions, anything on their mind, that pertains to what we're talking about, just throw them out there. And you know, tonight's topic is going to be about miscommunication. It's going to be about feeling guilty about leaving because you know it just goes back to show what kind of heart empaths have versus a lot of other people in the world. They don't think the same, they don't feel the same, they don't love the same. You know what I'm saying? And miscommunications can happen when you're talking to somebody because not everything is designed to come at you. Some things happen randomly. You know, I'll always say that when it comes down to miscommunication, texting somebody, miscommunications happen a lot through text messages, you know. But we'll talk about all that. We'll talk about all that, you know. So like I said before, anybody got any Q&As, throw them out there. If I don't see your comments, please forgive me for that. YouTube don't show certain comments when I'm live, only when I'm not live, then they'll show. Um, but I hope y'all have had a good week so far. I hope you all are taking care of your health, staying Hoover free, staying narc free. Tonight, it's a good temperature down here in Florida. It's pretty cool out. So, you know, enjoying the breeze like usual. Let me see. Suzanne, thank you. Hi, brother Aaron. Oh, hey. Good to see you. You baby. Hey, Aaron. Hey. All right now. Yes. I'm glad you all are back. You know, a lot of us have a hard time detaching from people who've been truly a hindrance, an obstacle in our lives, right? Because I guess when you was with these people, they had their moments of fun. There was moments of fun when you was with these people, and if it was your ex-boyfriend or your ex-girlfriend or even certain family members, they weren't completely terrible. They had their moments when they was fun, when they was cool to be around, when they actually made you feel like you was important and you mattered to them. But on the flip side of that, they had such hatred and animosity towards you, you know, for so many years. It's like they hated you when you was there, but they didn't want to lose you because it's like they didn't want you to know that they need you. They needed your energy. They needed you to admire them in certain times. There's people out here, they have serious internal struggles, serious internal uh, insecurities, you know, and a lot of times they don't know how to handle it. They don't have like a good outlet for it. A lot of times their outlet is abusing other people, you know. Does not make it right though. It does not make it right. Does not make it right at all, you know. So a lot of times we try to give people the benefit of the doubt. We gave so many people chances, to be with them and to show them love, to show them how to love. But every time we showed love to them or we showed them how to love, the jealousy kicked in. But when you was with them, sometimes it had its good moments. Sometimes, being with a narcissist, it has its good moments. Sometimes you get a good laugh out of it, you know. But at the end of the day, it's still toxicity. It's still not good for your health overall. Because toxic people, what they have a tendency of doing is they have a tendency of creating these fun moments with you so that way you can still be somewhat hooked to them. But it's like, you ever met those people that they want you to believe in them so much? Oh, come on, don't give up on my dream. I'm almost there. And you see them keep failing and failing and failing. And you keep trying to help them and help them. Some people went to the extreme, pulled out loans for the narcissist to support the narcissist's dream. Now they're in debt, sacrificing so much, putting your credit on the line. You around a narcissist, your credit can get bad, your health can get bad. Just a lot of things in your life starts falling apart. But they want you to keep up the good fight, keep believing in their dream, keep believing in what they believe in, keep trying to live for them and sacrifice your energy and time for them. But what I'm here to tell you today is, or tonight rather, do not feel guilty for cutting off people who don't appreciate you, that only sees you as an extension of themselves because they think that their way of thinking is the real reality, right? They will never value you, and even if you stayed and tolerated them for the next 10, 20 years, you'll only make it worse for yourself, you know? And then they'll kick you to the curb once they see that you're dried up and ran through and ran out of so much resources, you know. So a lot of us struggle with feeling guilty for cutting off exes. Some of us struggle with cutting off family members, you know, knowing that they're no good for you, knowing that they don't mean you any well. It's just that when you have that connection to them, right? Soul ties are not easy to break. Friendship soul ties are deep, but when you have a soul tie with a lover that you've been in bed with, sometimes it takes years to detach from that. But as sometimes it's hard, even for me. For example, it was hard for me to cut off certain people, but I had to make the choice. I had to. I was like, I don't care how I feel. I have to think logical here. Yeah, I want the best for them. Yeah, I may want to keep them around, but at the end of the day, logic supersedes emotion. I can't sit here and give my all to some people who don't give a damn about me, will just use me and abuse me and get jealous of me and hate me. There's people out here, and it's hard to fathom. This is why the Bible says to not lean onto your own understanding. But there's people out here, their whole purpose in life is to just make your life difficult, to make people's lives difficult. That's all they're here for. And that's hard to understand that. Yeah, it'll it'll make you more tolerant of certain things once you finally get away from them. You know, you'll be more understanding and wiser, but at the same time, it's like that's still not healthy, man. Especially when it comes to making money at a job. Some people at your job will just make people's lives difficult just because they can't. Look at how the government is ran, making people's lives difficult for no reason, literally. So these are things that we have to pay attention to because you holding on to somebody who's just gonna keep making your life difficult and difficult, and they trauma bond you to be addicted to that kind of abuse, right? They trauma bond you to be addicted to that kind of abuse. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, don't feel guilty for cutting off anyone who does not respect you, does not respect your well being, does not respect your emotions, does not respect your opinions, right? It's okay. You know, a lot of times we struggle with that in the beginning process when we finally break up with somebody. Then maybe a week or two later, you start thinking about them, reminiscing on, yeah, it was fucked up, but at least we had some good times. But at the same time, look at the end results of what happened. You started losing yourself. You started losing your beautiful identity because of who this person, well, oh, not who, because of what this person was trying to do to you. Let me read some comments. E-Baby says, yes, the bad overruled the good. Exactly. Exactly. Sometimes, you know, it's this thing that I saw in the movie. They say, sometimes like I don't want to just let him go. I don't want to just kick him out of my house. I don't want to just, you know. But if you keep them there, what are they gonna do? They're gonna eat all your food. They're gonna dirty up all your dishes. Your couch is gonna be smelling funky. Some people are just bad curses, bad omens. It's like having them in your life, shit just starts falling apart. And it's like we have to have the courage and the strength to let them go, to kick them to the curb, let them go to the streets. Because the streets, if the streets is where they want to go, they want to be out there in a bunch of people's faces and doing all this extra wild activity. Let them have that. Let them have their freedom, y'all. See, they want to play both sides. They want to have their freedom and keep you around at the same time. It don't work like that, man. Especially if you're a chosen one, an empath. Value who you are. Value your time. Value your energy. Value your good nature. Value your good love. You know what I'm saying? E baby says, the longer you stick around a narc, the less they respect you. Exactly. Exactly. The more you do for them, the less they respect you. You know? It's like you have to put your foot down sometimes and be like, look, enough is enough. Sometimes you have to show people that, like, don't get it twisted. I'll cut you off. I'm not putting up with your bullshit. Sometimes you have to be that way to people. You know? Um, your baby says, what's one thing that could help someone find their identity after narcissistic abuse? You know, if you've been in narcissistic abuse for so many years, it takes time to actually detox all of that toxic energy that you was hanging around, those toxic mannerisms, those toxic behaviors. Only then and only then you'll regain your true identity of who you are. You'll start to realize who you are this whole time, and you'll start doing the opposite of what the narcissist was teaching you all those years. But it's like first it's like have to detox, have to detox. The only way you can do that, you have to spend time alone. A lot of times, breaking up with a narcissist, you have to spend a lot of time in isolation, away from people, minimizing drama as much as possible, processing everything, you know, and then eventually things just start coming together. You start understanding what happened, you start understanding who you were before you met them, you know, because when you leave a narcissist, so much thoughts flow through your mind, so much events of things. And it's like it takes years to process everything. Especially if you've been in it for years. It takes years to process everything that they said, everything that they done. You be like, man, oh, now I see why this person used to say this. Oh, now I see why this person used to do that. But the main goal, not the main goal, the main reason why narcissists discard or try to terrorize is just mainly jealousy, hatred, and envy. They are the most jealous type of people you're ever gonna come across. They don't want to hear about your positive news. They don't want to hear about your good news or your great accomplishments, because they gonna try to, most times they gonna try to trump it with their accomplishments. Or if they see that you lacking in one area, they're gonna try to exploit it. Like for example, um, some dudes that I met, they saw that I was doing a lot of things with my life, but they see that I wasn't getting a lot of women like they were. So they'll be like, yeah, but you ain't getting no hoes though. You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting no hoes though. But them niggas, them the ones that got caught up with a bunch of baby mamas and a bunch of STDs, going in and out of the doctor clinic. Got to get some penicillin for they wee wee and shit. You know, like that. So like I said, they'll try to exploit you in other areas that they know that they're better than you at. They're gonna try to exploit you in that. You know what I'm saying? That's just what they do. But they know overall that we're better than them in terms of heart, love, light, you know, being children of the Most High. They know this. They can't compete with you when it comes to things that you're not good at or little things that you don't have. A lot of times, sometimes a narcissist will have more to you. They'll have the Bentley, they'll have the Rolls Royce, they'll have the 5 bedroom house. But as soon as they lay eyes on you, they hating on your guts. You know, but they'll try to flex that over you. Like whoever met somebody's always talking, oh yeah, next week, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to give me that Da Vinci collection for my girl, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you know you can't afford it, but they just flexing it all in your face. But then you be like, man, I'm tired of hearing all that. But it's like Well, you don't want to support me? No, because every time I come around you, that's all you talk about is what you buying, what you driving. You know, how many girls you done had or how many dudes you done had. Like, I don't want to hear all that. That shit crazy, man. It's like certain areas that they know that they're better than you at, they'll just keep poking at you with it. Just put it all in your face. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. Sudan says, it took me prayer, hermit mode, and 7 years. Yeah. Especially if you've been in it for a while. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Sometimes you have to process so many different things that, so many different events that happen to finally realize who you are, who you were this whole time, even before you met the narcissist. Your baby says, I agree. Detoxing and over a period of time, you'll find your identity again. Prayer is also important. Right, you baby. Right. Yes. I prayed a lot. When I got discarded, I had tears flowing out of my eyes and I wasn't even crying. Tears were just flowing out of my eyes. And I started praying. And then I started processing everything. It's like that first week of your discard, your heart is so heavy. Mine was so heavy. Man, because it made me realize that I was surrounded by people who were my enemies the whole entire time, who would use me as a emotional punching bag just because they could, because they wicked like that, trifling like that. And I sacrificed a lot for those people. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but at the end of the day, I realized, eventually I came to realize that if it wasn't for me, whatever they had going on wouldn't have happened. Because I was the only reason why my hand and my influence was the only reason why it was flowing and going anyways. You know, so that's just a little bit of my personal story. If anybody want to know more about my personal story, watch the video called "Narcissists Are Not at Peace." Just look at that video, and you'll see where I come from. See what kind of background I came from, what kind of adversity I had to face. Cause I'm telling you, bro, empaths and chosen ones, we go through so much pain. You be like, bro, how do we bounce back from all of this? We go through some damn near life threatening situations, man. Some life threatening situations. A lot of us have experienced pain and stress beyond our limits. Heart palpitations. Sometimes some of us had like mini heart attacks before because of the pain, you know? But we still here, you know? So I kind of look at life sometimes. I'm like, well, maybe this really is some sort of soul training, some soul training. To prepare for eternity, you got to start at this level first. You feel me? To prepare for eternity, you got to start at this level first. You got to go through the rigmarole. You got to go through the bumps and the lumps and the, obstacles, and you got to see how well you overcome certain things. You know, the thing is, though, you don't know the result or the reward for living this life a certain kind of way or trying to live this life righteous. You don't know the reward. We don't know the reward. There is a reward, I'm sure, because karma rewards us according to our actions. There is good karma and then there is bad karma. But there is a reward for how we live. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure the final result. It's still a mystery. You know what I'm saying? But we just have to trust and know that we were doing the right thing by cutting off certain people. We were doing the right thing by living a certain way and not getting involved with certain activities that the world do. Because even the Bible says, love not the world nor the things of the world, for the love of the world is enmity of the Most High. So if people, one thing I realized, you can't be an empath and be fitting in with people or have a bunch of friends or have a bunch of hoes. You can't be a chosen one doing some shit like that. Oh no. Now I understand if you in your early development stages and you young and you out there wild trying to find yourself, that's different. But if you at an age where you've been through a lot, and you've learned a lot of things, and you living a different kind of way now, you're not gonna have a lot of people by your side because you're not part of the world anymore. Your mindset is higher than the average. You know. Let me see. Suzanne says, I lost my whole family from the smear campaign. I am joyful because of the Most High. Yeah, they'll smear your name and make you look like the bad person. But sometimes the Most High do that to separate us from those people because the destruction that's coming to them, the destruction that's coming to them, yeah, see, they discarded us, but see, that's a blessing in disguise because the Most High wanted us to get out the way because the destruction that's coming to them, right? The fire and thunder that's coming to them, their homes are gonna get burnt down, all kinds of stuff, man. These people are just, they're doomed. The Most High will literally have them hurt you so you can step out the way, so that way He can destroy them to a point where they can't bounce back from that. Imagine all those years, all that hurt and damage they caused on you. Usually they get that back tenfold. I'm telling you, bro, the universe has a funny way of giving people back the shit that they dish out. I'm telling you, bro, anybody can get it when it comes down to karma, bro. When it comes down to the universe, anybody can get it. So let somebody yell at you and be disrespectful to you and smear your name. Man, they gonna get that crap back way worse than we could even comprehend. Because when it comes down to the creator is much better than us when it comes down to exacting revenge. The creator is way better than us when it comes down to exacting revenge. The creator hit people in their health to the point where they're not gonna be the same anymore. They gotta have tubes in their arms and stuff, IV bags and stuff. Gotta be on medication, cause most high done whooped their ass so damn bad, cause they was doing too much of this, smearing your name, trying to terrorize you because of their own insecurities, cause they jealous and they hateful and they spiteful and they envious, and all you ever did was try to show love to them. Because they pieces of shit and they know it, but they don't want to admit that shit to you. But that's alright. Their lives will reveal all of that. Huh? Their lives will reveal all of that. When their lives are in shambles and you're not around, now they got a heart full of regrets. Will they change? No. But they gonna have a heart full of regrets though. Wishing that they sometimes these narcissists they'll wish they weren't born, man. You know what I'm saying? E-Baby says, they know that materialistic things don't really hold any value. They love to exaggerate. Right. Some narcissists with money, if they know that you don't have the kind of money that they have, they'll just flex it over you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting that Louis V bag, for my birthday, cost about 40,000, but we balling out, they love it. It's like people's egos depend on their materials. People's egos depends on their materials that they own, the things that they drive, right? How much money's in their bank account. Without that, they're nothing. It's like when they have that stuff, now they want to be all flexy and flashy. But they lose that stuff, now they down in the dumps. Because they thought they shit didn't stink. They had to get a slice of humble pie. You feel me? Suzanne said, joining the suffering of Jesus Christ. I thought I could love them at my expense. Really got effed up by religion. Right. Suzanne says, true. E-Baby says, if you want to follow Aaron, Facebook group is called Chosen Warriors of Light. Yeah, y'all. Follow me on Facebook. Facebook group called Chosen Warriors of Light. It's right there in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Those who want to join, come join on in. I try to post there more often. Suzanne says, I was cyber stalked, so I won't risk social media. Protecting my peace. I love you all though. Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. Trust me, I understand. You know. But let's talk about miscommunication real quick and pretty much my perspective. All right? Pretty much my perspective. Um you can miscommunicate with somebody over a text. Um a lot of times when you're texting somebody, you're not experiencing the real energy, the real them. It's better when you have an issue with somebody to talk it out over the phone, so that way you all can feel each other's energy. Because you could text somebody the problem, but you're gonna think somebody's catching an attitude with you or something like that, or somebody's trying to get at you. That's because with texting you're not really experiencing where are they really coming from. Because what you text, if it don't have any kind of energy behind it, you're gonna misinterpret it. You know, so texting is, to me, texting is dangerous. If when it comes down to talking about issues, now when you're dealing with a narcissist, even if you talk with them over the phone, it ain't gonna help. But some people you can hash out things with through text. Well, not through text, really through phone call. Even if you call a narcissist, you're not gonna hash out anything. They have their way of believing things, and their whole goal is to one up you and win over you at all costs. But when it comes down to miscommunication, sometimes it's good to let somebody uh, think about certain things. Let them have their little space to think about certain things. Because I'm telling you, sometimes you're gonna you're gonna have somebody and their mood is gonna be all shifty, and they're not gonna know how to communicate with you properly. So sometimes it's good to just let them have their little space, let them have their little time to recuperate. I'm not saying you should just not talk to them. Check in on it. Is everything all right? Sometimes it's okay to just ask that kind of stuff. Because sometimes people could be in a bad mood and don't even know how to communicate that to you. And especially as a man, if my girl's in a bad mood and she acting like she all distant with me and all this other stuff, I'm gonna feel some type of way. But maybe it's something personal with her. She could be upset about some job or something happened in her family. She could be upset about anything. She just don't want to talk about it right now, I guess. Don't mean I'm not gonna check up on her like, hey, is everything all right? This and that. But sometimes when people switch up on you, it can be a miscommunication that it's just something personal that they got going on. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you deal with a narcissist, a lot of times they use your emotions against you just to play with you, make you work hard to try to please them. You know, but I'm talking about somebody who's really genuine. Sometimes they're not gonna be all together. It's good to check up on them, but sometimes they need that they need time to think. They need time to bounce back and recuperate. You know, so miscommunications can happen that way. You know, but overall, like I said, it's always good to talk about what's wrong with whoever you're talking to, whether it's your relationship or your friendship. It's always good to hash things out over the phone, or it's better in person because y'all can talk one on one in a healthy manner. You know, I feel like you was trying to do this, and they could be like, no, it wasn't meant to be like that. See where they're coming from. If they lie to you, eventually you'll know. But sometimes miscommunication happens in life. It happens a lot of times during Mercury retrograde, which happened recently, which was a lot type deal, grades and things like that. So, you know, during certain retrogrades, things can happen. Sometimes you got to keep up. Sometimes you got to keep up with certain things because when the planets and stuff align, and communication can be a little messed up. Let me see. Your baby says, Suzanne, totally understandable. Your baby says, what's a sign of unintentional miscommunication versus toxicity? Unintentional miscommunication can come from what's a good example? Um, not not saying anything for, let's say, most of the day, not saying anything because this person then got caught up with some stuff, and now you're all worried. But then when they finally was able to reach you, they be like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. Like my house caught a flood, and Or I'm so sorry, my mom, I had to take her to the hospital this morning. I had to be there with her all day. I didn't charge my phone last night. You know, things like that can happen. You know what I'm saying? It's rare, but it can happen. There's some things that can happen where miscommunication can happen where you may not hear from the person, or the person just has some sort of issue internally. You know, they just don't know how to communicate it with you. Now, toxicity is where they try to give you the silent treatment because they mad at you for some crap that you done did when you was out in public with them or something. You know, that kind of stuff is toxic. You know, or you try to ask them a question and they don't answer it, they purposefully ignore you. That's toxicity right there. That's no miscommunication. That's all done on purpose. You know, there's some people out here, if they upset, they want you to be upset. If they crying, they want you to be crying. You know, how messed up is that, man? You know, so these kind of things we have to be careful of. It's identifying a miscommunication versus something that's done intentionally. And a lot of times, if we tune into our intuition, it'll give us the answers because all we have to do is pay attention to the signs. You know, Suzanne says, "Oh, I know that well. It's cruel and Ricky." Right, right, yeah. Because there's people out here. If they crying, they want you to be crying. If they upset, they want you to be upset. It's not fair. That's how they think. Like I said, there's people in this life. The whole purpose is to make people's lives difficult. That's what they want to be remembered for being the asshole and the shitbag and the, you know, that's what they want to be remembered for. Not me though. You know, I try my best to share my experiences so that way we all can heal and give you all the courage to go out there and conquer your goals, achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. You know, and if it don't happen, it's okay. It's just divine timing. If you don't have it now, you'll have it later. It's all right. Sometimes things take time. But I just want to let y'all know y'all doing an amazing job. Don't give up on yourself. If you're still healing, just see it all the way through. Take your time, you know. Go to the beach, put your feet in the sand. Go take a trip. Go see, you know, go see the islands or something. You know, do something with your life, or you know, go out of town. Go to Universal Studios. Go on some roller coasters. You know, if you're healing, you're healing. But make sure to have fun in between. But don't be scared to detach yourself from toxic people. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I don't care if it's your mama, your daddy, your auntie, your brother, your sister. If they doing some weird shit every time you come around, you gotta cut them off. Now, sometimes it's hard to get rid of them, but you just gotta play at it a certain way. Sometimes you gotta be strategic when you're dealing with toxic folks. Sometimes, especially if you can't just get away from them. Sometimes you gotta be strategic. You know, try to be standoffish, but try to keep them at bay. You know what I'm saying? Glitching and stuff like I really hope this video is not been glitching. Like I hope it's not been glitching, y'all, because I really hate that. I try to go in a spot where the connection is good, but sometimes it's just it just lately my videos have just been having a hard time of connecting and stuff like that. But listen, y'all, I hope y'all like the message. I might get up off of here. Let me shout y'all out. Suzanne, thanks for coming through. E-Baby, thanks for coming through. Who else? Yeah, y'all, thank y'all for coming through. And those who watching, thanks for coming through. I hope y'all got some valuable information. Anybody want to join the Facebook group? The Facebook group is called Chosen Warriors of Light. Just type that in. You should see like a light being person. Just click join the group. And if I don't see your comments, I'm sorry about that. YouTube is a flawed platform. And listen, y'all, I love y'all. Y'all please be safe. And we'll chop it up again soon, y'all. All right? All right, love y'all. Bye-bye now.